Do you find yourself apologizing excessively, even for things that aren't your fault? Do you tend to take the blame simply to keep the peace, to prevent others from getting upset or angry, preemptively avoiding conflict? This is a very common manifestation of the fawn response, saying, sorry, I'm so sorry. You know what? Yeah, I think that was me. I'm sorry. It becomes a reflexive way to manage other people's emotions or maintain a sense of safety, even at the expense of your own integrity and worth, because you didn't do it. So this session is for anyone caught in the pattern of over-apologizing and taking on undue blame. We're going to acknowledge this deeply ingrained habit. We'll gently release the fear driving it and empower you to embrace your inherent worth, so you can stop taking responsibility for others' feelings and their actions, and you can speak your truth with confidence. See the description box for a few articles on the research, the science, and how this works to help us rewire neural pathways from negative responses and triggers to positive ones. For today, 1 to 10, how do you feel about how quickly you apologize, especially if you've not done anything wrong or you over-apologize? We'll check back in on that 1 to 10 when we're done tapping. Okay, that's simple. Just tap with and repeat after me. Even though I apologize excessively and take the blame for things that aren't my fault, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I apologize too much to keep the peace and prevent others from getting upset. I deeply and completely love and honor myself. Even though this pattern of saying I'm sorry about everything because I feel responsible for other people's emotions, I acknowledge it all and begin bringing myself healing. Even though I want to stop over-apologizing and learn to stand my ground, but I feel stuck in this fawning response. I fully love and support myself in moving away from these patterns. I am forever over-apologizing. I take on too much blame. Even when I'm not in the wrong. I hate that I do this. I'm keeping the peace at all costs. But the worst cost is my own sanity. I apologize because I have this fear of upsetting others. But I'm afraid I'm losing myself in this habit of, I'm sorry, sorry, sorry. I'm busy feeling responsible for their feelings. I'm so annoyed with myself when I do this. I want to be busy worried about my own life. I want to let them deal with their own emotions. I know it all comes from my discomfort with conflict. I just want to keep things calm. I want to avoid fighting and arguments. I don't want to feel ashamed because I disappointed them. Releasing and letting this all go now. Any need to apologize just to keep the peace, I drop it here. The reflex to say I'm sorry when I've done nothing wrong, I release that here. Dropping and letting it go. Whatever trauma drives this, whatever sadness, fear, anger, it's no longer mine to carry. I release and let it go. It's okay to leave others to deal with their own emotions. It's safe and better for me not to apologize when I've done nothing wrong. It's okay. It's safe to respect myself first. I choose to release this excessive blame. This fawning behavior, this over-apologizing, I release and let it go now. It's safe not to apologize unnecessarily. I am recognizing what is truly my responsibility. I am trusting my own worth. I am allowing others to manage their own emotions. I am speaking my truth with confidence. I am balanced in my apologies. I am only taking on my own blame from now on. I respect myself enough not to apologize for things I did not do. I am confident in my worth. My worth is based in truth, not fawning false apologies. I am clear in any communication. I am purposeful in any apology I feel is necessary. I release any urge to take the blame for something I did not do. I drop any need to apologize when I am not the one to blame. I fully and completely release any pattern of over-apologizing. And I embrace my emotional autonomy. I trust and respect myself enough not to take the blame for things I have not done. I more easily every day leave other people to their own emotions. I am owning the truth and my truth. I am free from undue blame. I am free from all fawning behaviors now. Deep breath. See where you are on that 1 to 10 scale. Releasing patterns of over-apologizing is a huge step towards healthier boundaries because you deserve not to be burdened by others' emotions, to not be saddled with the heavy responsibility of keeping the peace, especially by taking the blame for things you haven't done. when we do that, we're putting inside ourselves the idea that we are less worthy of respect and the truth being known to everybody, but the truth about us, and that's absolutely not the case. So if you're around someone who cannot admit any wrongdoing, never apologizes, cannot acknowledge that like every other human, they make mistakes, that is red flag 101. It is definitely worth thinking about severely limiting, if not completely ending the relationship, whether that's a business partner, love relationship, parent, sibling, friend. And it's compounded if they're the type of person that not only doesn't apologize when they've done something wrong, but then they keep tension between the two of you, or pick arguments, or keep arguments going until you feel the need to apologize or grovel in some way and set things to rights. That is exactly what fawning is, engaging in behaviors that allows them to feel more important. Perhaps they're upset because they did something wrong, and the way they need to be soothed is somehow for you to fluff up their feathers when they did something wrong. Tell them how great they are. In this instance, the fawning pattern is to take some kind of blame, so that way they can reestablish themselves as better than you, and then the tension can go away and everybody can get back to normal. Ew, no more of that. All of that behavior is absolutely inappropriate of them, detrimental to you, and not worth you spending your time or energy on. Certainly not apologizing for anything that's their behavior, their emotions. That's for them to figure out. They need to learn how to regulate and modify their behavior and their emotions, especially when they did something wrong and they're upset because they don't know how to apologize. So it could take a bit of time to overwrite what is probably years, if not decades, of this habit when it comes to over apologizing, fawning, that kind of thing. Definitely keep going back, give it a few sessions, and let that 1 to 10 scale come down until you're at a 0. And take a look around the channel for the other videos around fawning. I'll be putting out around the same time, about one a week or so. So if you're watching this as it comes out, then definitely click subscribe and you'll be notified as I put out the other new videos. And do share your thoughts in the comments on how else I can help with fawning or any other issues that you're struggling with. If this session helped, please do like and drop a comment. Even just an emoji does help me in the algorithms and get me in front of other people who are searching for the same content. And I'm grateful for every interaction that happens with its shares and comments and subscribing and liking and all that. I will put a quick note in here just because I happen to be thinking of it. If you're watching this and the reason for over apologizing is an abusive relationship, what I will say here is definitely do this video and begin to put this this confidence and into yourself and begin to break the want and need to over apologize. But if you know that your partner is very volatile, then you may have to keep the peace while you plan your exit carefully. And I would say then to definitely check with local abuse shelters and abuse charities that may be around you for battered women, battered men. Look into and so you may need to keep the peace a little bit, but you can be instilling this in you and letting this is why you're doing the work with them to figure out how to make your exit and do that safely and get you or your kids or your pets or however you need to. You may have a parents living with you or something like that, and it may just be you. And so you may also look at around this time I'll have another video coming out on independence and kind of codependency. Maybe do those together as you begin to build that, because part of the reason you're staying can be that you're afraid to be alone, and that's very natural. It's very normal. And especially the longer we've been doing this and apologizing, or the longer you've been codependent or had negative attachment patterns, it can be hard to break all that. So it's amazing that you're here and doing this, but definitely be mindful who your person is. So if you're going to leave them anyway, they're not somebody who is likely to change, then don't risk yourself unnecessarily either. Do what you need to do to keep the peace while you work with somebody to get out as quickly as possible. And then definitely, keep tapping at this so that you're putting in, no more of this. I'm not taking the blame for things I know I didn't do. I'm not going to apologize for what I didn't do. I'm not going to, and you become stronger and better at setting boundaries and being independent with yourself and knowing that, speaking up for yourself and all those sort of things. So do be mindful of that and take care of yourself. And let me know. I do have a playlist for abusive relationships that might be helpful to look through, and let me know if there's anything else specific to that I can help with. Take care of yourself, and I will see y'all later.